I grew up in Peru because my father was Peruvian, and then I grew up in United States because my mother is North American from Ann Arbor, Michigan. My mother thought, why don't you study art? Because I was different. And my mother being an artist, you know, we grew up with sculptures in the house she designed, which was glass, wood, and plants. Beautiful, it was beautiful. So yes, it felt very natural to go into art, and I was lucky to be able to travel throughout Europe, and I did it 2 years in a row because I didn't want to live in the United States. After a while, I thought, you know, I need the sea, especially because when I reached Greece, I said, this is where I can be happy, where human beings can be happy. You know, it was so beautiful. The colors, the weather, the style of life, the food. The Greeks were so hospitable. They were, I felt I had arrived to paradise once again. No, and for the first time, I should say. And then, so I lived there and I began doing painting. I went there because it was a community of painters. And I wanted to learn from them. I wanted to learn, just see what happened apart from just being in this beautiful little town, Lindos, in Greece, in Rhodes. And so, yeah, I was doing an image of the inverted woman, and her hair was becoming mountains and rivers and going to the sea, and her arms sprouted plants. She was a tree, and flowers and things came out of the fingers and the feet. And I was stuck in that image. I couldn't move forward. It seems like I hadn't had enough experience in my life. And then when I had the children, it happened at 40. When they grew up and they could fend for themselves, they didn't need me as a mother. I went into a crisis, and the first image I did was that same image in Greece, but it was like the breaking of a dam. I did it in clay, and I worked for 10 years without stopping. I did maybe over 300 of these retablos. It was like a frenetic pace for me. You know, I loved it. It was trying to investigate who we are, because I had done previously work that was utilitarian, but then this questioning as to who we are, what are we here for, took me to work with clay and the human being, and to study myself and my thoughts, my evolution. Oh, I learned, because the crisis was that I had a backache, terrible sciatica, that I couldn't work for 9 months. 9 months I couldn't work. 3 months to go into the hole, 3 months in the hole, 3 months to come out. When I was distorted, my body was distorted. But it was like I needed to lose that part of my body, lose that part of myself, because it was representative of losing the past, things that were hanging, that I was carrying, that I didn't need to carry. So I saw it symbolically, what a disease is. You know, it's a disease of the mind, a turmoil inside. It's a transition that I wasn't finding my way through it. And I had read, you know, you have to go into the forest where it's thickest. The knights did that. And so you found your way. And this is what the knights did. Not that I was a knight, but it's like that. You don't know where you're going, and you chop your way through, and well, you find the treasure. You find something amazing, and that's what I felt I did. Well, my mother was incredibly strong, very willful, and progressive, and pushing us to do things beyond what we would normally do. She was a daughter of professors. She was highly educated and cultured. Whenever she was there, the conversation was elevated. It was, I really missed her when she was not there. She was an activist, and she even went to jail protesting the Trident missile. And she was a person that was a great example to all of us, and also very sensitive. You know, she was, her sculptures were beautiful, really beautiful. She explored different materials. I mean, always the same images of, she went to a traditional, a la Bellas Artes, where they use the human body. So she was traditional like that, but in all mediums. And I heard her tack, 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 you know, sculpting. And I mean, she was an incredible person. And she pushed us to be very feminist, but we weren't. My sister and I weren't feminist. We were just product of feminism. For after that, I chose to be reclusive. I didn't want to partake in anything. I chose to live in little places, little worlds, and just develop my work myself. I worked really hard, but I never took it outside. I was lucky in the United States that the island supported me. The island liked my work, and I was really happy for that. But now Mariana, I think she feels, especially being with my companion Bjorn, who is a man who wants, well, mainly to have good leaders, politicians that are responsible and conscious. And I think my mother's side is coming out. I think, you know, she said, well, I've done my job with you and with my grandchildren. Now I'm going to become an activist. And I don't think I can leave art, because art for me is my way of, I think it's the way how I don't know, I think working with energy works. If I put intention, I really believe in intention, and if the intention is good, I don't think it just helps myself. I think it helps beyond me. I think we all have ripples going out like this from our actions and thoughts even. You know, it's ripples going out, and I'm hoping that's a way. But I also feel that maybe, I don't know if I'm articulate, you know, I have a worse memory for numbers and things, so I don't know if I can be an activist. Education, no? The most important thing is that women have a profession, that to find their passion, something that comes easy to them, something they want to do, and just go for that and explore where it takes them, because doors will open where there are no doors. And how to use that power? Well, I think we women need to do something. I mean, we are the portal of life, and we must work for keeping this earth beautiful and harmonious. I think there'll be all kinds of problems in leadership, but if you have the goal, ultimate goal is to pay attention to the earth and the next 7 generations, you know, I think we can't lose then. We really have to do things with the future in mind to make the world for our children. Oh, I think men are wonderful. I love my father. I love all men, and I think they're so, you know, they're so supportive. I think they have to support women, because if women are going to go, and it's time for men to support the feminine, not necessarily women, but the feminine in them and the feminine in women, but to balance. If the women are too feminine, to give them a little bit more focus, more of a direction, perhaps when they flounder, just like women supported men throughout all of these centuries to bring us to this point where we are so capable now. We have so many things that we can use to make a perfect world for everybody. I don't think we need even to reduce population. We can feed us all. Of course, the population will reduce and we won't have so much. But anyway, I think men and women should work together, and I think they need to support us like we support them. I think a friendship is bringing up us both to do the best we can in whatever we need to do, and hopefully it's something we can do together.